What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hey friends, it's Desiree Josen.
Because they usually go all out for Bengals.
I loved it. And stop and be like, this is amazing.
I just think this is awesome for the both of them.
Hey, what's crackin' everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather, and I want you to watch the #1, that's right, the #1 podcast, Chutes and Ladders. See you there. Peace.
Here are your hosts, Jason and Desiree.
Chutes and Ladders, SummerSlam Night 1 recap. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, we're excited to break down all the action from SummerSlam. Des just got back. It was a great overall event. We're going to give you the match breakdowns, the biggest moments, and of course the grades. Des, what are your initial thoughts?
I had such a wonderful weekend of just doing everything in Minneapolis. It was very different from Florida, but my seats were great. Interactions with the wrestlers were fun. So it was just an overall really great weekend.
100%. It definitely looked live on TV, that's for sure. All right, let's go to the first match. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. The order's a lot different than what we thought, but you know what? This was a banger to start off. Des, what are your thoughts? What's your grade? What's your favorite moment being in the crowd?
I'm glad they opened with this. I thought as soon as I heard the music, I was like, okay, this makes sense. I love the entrances, and I love Liv's new song. I'm a big fan of that one, the Trouble Trouble. So I was just getting up there dancing the entire time. It was just so much fun. This is the thing. It was a toss-up. We didn't care if Io or Liv won. Of course, we favor Io a little bit more, but even if Liv did, retain, no big deal, because everyone was just as happy, and that's exactly what happened. It was a good way to start the show. Two amazing women. I thought they had really great chemistry in the ring. Was it my favorite? No, but it was good. It was really entertaining, and I thought they both looked great. So I would give it like a B+, A-. And the entrances, I just loved watching Liv come out to Trouble Trouble. That was so much fun.
Absolutely. Listen, I loved that they opened with this match. We kind of thought that a women's title match could open, and it did. And listen, we love these ladies. We know that obviously they're going to end up having another match down the road. I'm kind of with you. I kind of thought the match was going to be better given the two wrestlers. So I'm slightly disappointed, but not by much. I'll give it a B+ as well. And it definitely opened up the night right.
Yeah.
All right, now match 2, and we called this LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys versus the Usos, and Jacob Fatu. LA Knight gets the win. Okay, what are your thoughts? What's your grade? What's your favorite fan moment?
I enjoyed this so much. It got a huge pop. All the guys look great. And where we were on the floor, 6th row, and everyone was going crazy for Knight and Solo and Royce. It was exactly what we anticipated it to be, full of entertainment, but what we also wanted to see was finally, Knight get a win, Solo, and of course Royce. But what I loved is, I mentioned previously in our predictions, Solo is really growing on me, and he had so much fun in the ring, just really picking at Jimmy and Jay, being that little brother, and then playing it back. And I thought that was the funniest thing, and he just kept messing with them throughout the entire match. Even in the corners, you couldn't really see it, and they were having so much fun. But what I love about this, Knight gets the win, and of course we saw what happened on Raw with him going face-to-face with Roman, compared to what he did back in, 2023, 2024, and I just felt like that wasn't the right timing for him. So maybe this go-around, we will get what we want and get the elevation of what we need to see from him. And also, too, this is what we needed for Solo to become a face. I think it just made him more likable and it sold more of the story. And then, of course put Royce Keys over. So it was a win-win for everybody. It looked great. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'll give it like an A-.
I'm giving this an A-. I'm going to echo everything you just said. Two things. One, I called it. I said LA Knight was going to take the pin. I think he'll end up fighting for getting a title shot, and it looks like that's what is going to happen. I do think he's going to get closer to that world title reign, which is what everyone wants, and he rightfully deserves. Two, Solo was going nowhere fast. He really was. His character was getting super stale. This is such a great creative move. Thank God they flipped him face, because it's definitely working a lot better. So I will echo everything you said. I will say this match definitely surprised me a lot more than I thought. So yeah. I'm giving it an A-. I liked it.
It was good.
Absolutely. All right, now another surprising match. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Gunther gets a win, yawn, but Nick Aldis definitely looked solid. Des, your thoughts, your grade, what is your favorite fan moment?
He sure as hell looked solid. That was the one thing I respectfully could not keep my eyes off of. I was like, good Lord, Nick Aldis looks great. And I thought he had lots of confidence, and you can tell, maybe someone's a little nervous, a little shaky. It's been a couple of years since you've been in the ring, and especially, during a big PLE like this. So I think he did fantastic. It was a quicker match, and we really thought that Nick was going to pull out the win, because what is the point of him coming back if he's not going to win? And so I guess it's just to get him out there. I don't know. So I understand the point of it, and then I don't. So just because I don't know where this takes us, or is that it? So unfortunately, Gunther got the win, but Nick really won and looked great. And we got to see Mickie James and their son come out. So that was a lot of fun. Very heartwarming. So just because Gunther got it, and it was kind of like, but I'm glad to see Nick back. I'll give it like a B-.
Okay, I would have given this an A-. This would have been another surprise match had Nick Aldis won. Since he lost, I'm giving this a B-, because I'm with you. This made no sense. Right. What was the point for Nick Aldis to make this triumphant return to only have him lose? We've seen this in the past. Remember when Shawn Michaels came back? He beat Jeff Jarrett for the title. Various people have come back, and it actually worked. In this case, they went the opposite way. No sense to me at all. Well, what was the point of having Gunther win? What's that do for him? Nothing. So, with the exception of getting his, we'll talk about that night too. He got a title match, or a number one contenders match, which was very bizarre. But ultimately, listen, Nick Aldis was definitely the MVP of this match. Yeah. Had he won, you could argue he's the MVP of the entire show. But hats off to him. But there was no point to have Gunther winning. Yeah,
he looked great though.
100%. Nick Aldis. We hope you wrestle again. Mm-hmm. All right, now let's roll into Fatal Influence versus the Bellas and Paige. I will hold my thoughts once I hear yours. What are your thoughts? What's your grade? And what is your favorite fan moment?
This was an okay match. I was one of the few that was supporting Fatal Influence. I was kind of shocked because a lot of people, I'm not shocked that a lot of people got up and left to go get their food and go to the bathroom, but I was there like clapping and hollering for my bad girls. And then, there was always this feeling of eventually the Bellas are going to turn against Paige. So when that happened, that wasn't a shock, but I'm glad that the girls won. I'm glad Fatal Influence, took the win, and I love how they were teasing the girls. I love Fallon doing her Nikki Bella impression. I thought it was super cute, but it was an okay match, but with Brie getting injured, and then now Nikki doesn't have anybody, and then they turn on Paige. I'm like, what are you going to do now? You don't have a tag partner. So whatever. I hate that you got injured, but, maybe, I don't know. But it wasn't a shock to see them turn, whatever. I don't know. This was like a very indifferent match for me. So I'll give it like a C+, B-.
Okay. I only say this if it's warranted. This was a miss for me.
Yeah.
It really was. I get it. Just like you said, they need a storyline to have the Bellas turn on Paige, but what is this going to do for Paige? I mean, hopefully she wins
Nothing.
and she gets, nothing. It's going to elevate her maybe. So where the bells go after this, I don't get it.
Home.
Yeah. And if that's the case, then what was the point of this? None of this really, I'm with you. I was kind of indifferent. I mean, listen, the girls weren't bad in the ring, so I won't say that, but storyline-wise, nothing really popped out at me at all. I'll give this a C. Yeah, this was the miss of entire SummerSlam for me.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about the opposite. A fun match. We know Dez was glowing. I hope Randy ran right by you. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. We obviously know Punk retained, which we really didn't know whether that was going to be the case, although I did predict it. But Dez, what are your thoughts? What's your grade? And what is your favorite fan moment in this match?
I felt it in my gut all day that my man was going to show up. I felt it. I knew it. Something. I was sitting next to a guy, and they were talking about who do you think is going to show up, and in my head, I yelled, Randy. They just stared at me, and I'm like, I feel it. He's coming. And nobody else agreed with me, and that's okay, because I knew I was going to be right. And what do you know? And, okay, I'm going to be honest. Watching it live was very different from watching it on TV because I rewatched this, and the first half of the match was very slow for us. All of us were kind of like, what's going on? Like, it was, at least for us in the crowd, it just didn't move the way it was pictured on TV. Halfway through, that's when everything started picking up for us, and we're like, now the match is starting. But yeah, of course, my surprise of the match and of the night was Mr. Randy Orton coming out and then, RKOing our little golden boy. And, that all is well in the world now in wrestling. Was it my favorite match? I don't know, but match of the night for night one, yes. But I thought they had good chemistry. I mean, Punk and Cody are just, they're vets. They're really good at what they do. They're great at storytelling and selling. So this was going to be a no-brainer, good match. So I will give it, an A.
Yeah, I'll give it an A minus. I'm with you. I kind of thought it was going to be a lot better. I was actually putting this in category for match of the year. I don't know if it's going to get that nomination anymore. It could have been better, but obviously the spot of the night was Randy coming out. It was really cool to see on social media when people had their phones out to just see him kind of run out and do his thing. So that was kind of cool. I really was hoping that he kind of ran by you. It looks like he was on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all good. I mean, still, it was fun. It was fun overall. We know all three of these guys are going to have a feud sooner rather than later. They have to. They're the main eventers. It'd be fun for all three of them to have a triple threat. I think that would be really fun. But ultimately, I'll give it an A minus. I thought it could have been a little bit better, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Same.
Now let's go to the main event. It's Brock Lesnar's final match in his hometown over versus Brock. Definitely drew a lot of attention. Des, what are your thoughts? What's your grade? What is your favorite fan moment?
Lots of intensity, lots of emotion, and it was such a build-up. And what's crazy is, we're in Minnesota, so a land of Brock Lesnar. So half of the crowd was rooting for him, half of it was for Oba, and the guys I was sitting next to were hell-bent on Brock winning. And I just stared at him. I was like, it doesn't make sense for him if this is really his last match. It's like his retirement match. I said, I think it's going to be Oba. Even though we want Brock to win, it's going to be him. And we were like fighting back and forth. And so that was like my fan moment where, we're all like, it's going to be Brock, it's Oba, this. And we're like, no, shut up. And it was so much fun. But it's these two monsters, they are huge in life and like real life. Like they really are monsters. And I wish they used more of the cage, and they didn't. so that was one thing I noticed. I was like, it was just to keep them in. But besides that, so much power, just removal of the canvas and going straight onto the wood. I really like that. I had to rewatch it, obviously, because there were certain angles that I couldn't see on, the other end. And my brothers were texting me, like, was that supposed to happen? I'm like, I don't know. I can't see. And, but it turned out exactly how we thought and how it should have happened. And what I loved was after the cameras were rolling, Brock took time and spoke to the crowd and said thank you. And of course he did his bowing out and said, I am the past, this is the future speech. And so it was all in good fun, and it was very respectful. And Brock could have just up and left and said, hey, I'm done. But instead he decided to not only put him over in the match, but also put him over professionally and say, let's welcome our future. So I really love that. I thought that was really cool. And that was my match of the night. That was the one I was looking forward to, and I got exactly what I wanted. So I give it an A.
Yeah, I'm going to give this an A. Only thing, and I don't know how this was supposed to plan out, and maybe this is what your brothers were referencing. When Oba did the power bomb, I thought he was going to put him through the wood. And potentially maybe put him through the mat. And I think that would have been like the holy smokes moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a botch. I don't know if he kind of thought about the last minute. I was like, no, that's too much. So we don't know. But regardless, great match. And just like you said, like the moment of the night was him passing the torch. Definitely giving it an A. I mean, listen, it's in his hometown, which is really cool. So a great way to end the night.
Yeah. That was the text. They were like, my brother Chris was like, was he supposed to put him through the wood? And I was like, I don't think so. Because you know how Brock sometimes will change things immediately, like on the fly, and say, don't put me through. So he could have been just taking it easy on him. So who knows? If anyone knows any different, let us know.
Yeah, 100%. That was the one thing I thought. But you know what? Hey, if it prevents injury, I'm all about it.
Right.
All right, as now we're moving to our fast game of rapid fire. We're calling this a SummerSlam shootout. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Match of the night.
Brock and Oba.
Sure. All right, ready? Biggest surprise.
Oh, is this a shocker? Randy Orton coming out.
Since you were there, loudest crowd reaction.
Oh, it's a toss-up between Oba winning and Randy coming through the crowd. Those were the two biggest pops.
Love it. Okay, best entrance.
Let me see. I'm going through here just to see what I love, because it's so much fun and it had me dancing. Liv Morgan.
Okay. Biggest WTF moment.
You know what? Gunther winning, because we didn't expect that.
Love it. Who had the MVP performance?
I'm going to go with Brock and Oba.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And overall SummerSlam grade?
I'm going to say this. I really was kind of disappointed in night one, just because I felt like they could have done a lot better, minus those little surprises of Randy and the Hell in a Cell match. So I'm going to give it a B.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll give it a B as well. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be a little bit better, specifically with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. I even thought that Brock and Oba would have had more spots, but, it's overall I can't complain. And I got to be honest, even Liv and I thought it could have been a little bit better, but I'm not complaining. It was a great night. It was a great Saturday night, so overall I liked it. Now, Des, what are your final thoughts?
It was a good time. I had a great time, and the stadium was beautiful. The sun was in my eyes, so people were texting me. They're like, "Why do you look so angry?" And I'm like, "I wasn't. It was the sun in my eyes." So I was having a damn good time, I tell you that. So, but yeah, I had a great time, and it was. I mean, it's SummerSlam. You can't really go wrong with that. So yeah, good time.
All right, and that actually wraps up this episode. What are your thoughts on SummerSlam Night 1? Please shoot us a DM at the Chutes and Ladders.
And remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify.
All right, until next time, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Jason.
All right, Have a blessed week and a blessed day.
Have a great week. Bye, friends.
This was another episode of the Shoots and Ladders podcast.